It's time for Everything Noob, your source for all things gaming.
Once again, welcome to the Everything Noob podcast. I am Vorchek. That's my Russian handle.
Check.
Vorchek. Joined this evening by Jemmy and Dreadlow. And tonight,
Hello.
the world of gaming has bestowed upon us something awesome.
Oh, yeah.
The Steam operating system. What? What does it mean? No, seriously.
Steam beat Google to the punch?
Steam. Whoa.
It's their answer. It's their answer to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, I bet.
It's their
But
answer
they've been working
to...
on this for years, so...
Yeah. No, it's about time, too, because the console race, I feel like, has kind of died down. No one really gives a crap. Like, we talked about the PS4 and the Xbox One for how many episodes of this podcast?
Too many.
All of them?
Oh, yeah.
So...
All of them, yeah.
We lost interest, the community lost interest, and we're just kind of waiting for these new systems to come out. But no one's really that impressed. They're just fancier computers. And there's no crazy new features. There's no, they're just beefed up PS3s and Xbox 360s, right? Is that fair to say? I mean,
yeah.
With crappy features no one cares about.
Exactly. And our PCs, our home PCs, have been so much better than these consoles for probably a few years now that, we might as well be building our own consoles, and that's what the SteamOS is all about. Build yourself a computer, install this free Linux-based operating system on your computer. Bam! Gaming console. Hooks right into your TV. Right?
Yep.
It's backwards
And-
compatibility that you always wanted.
Yes.
You take your games to every version.
Yes, exactly. You could just go on Steam and be like, I want to download Oregon Trail from 1974, whenever it
There it
existed.
is.
And bam, if it's on Steam...
Yes, they're going to re-release that on Steam. I'm sorry, I just had to get that in there.
They re-released all of the King's Quest. I know you already
I
have
that. I love it.
Yeah, I saw that recently. I'm like, I didn't know this was out. But
Oh, yeah.
every
Oh, it's
King's
been
Quest
out.
game, and that was like early 90s, right? Well, mid-90s.
I think some of them were the 80s.
Really?
Yeah, way
Yes.
back when.
Wow.
Talking Commodore 64. Yeah.
Early 90s would have been like King's Quest 6.
And now you can sit in your living room and play these horrible games for your whole family to watch.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I would want to share that with my family.
Well, see,
They would make fun of me.
Valve, what they've done is there's 3 announcements they're going to make for this Steam OS, and they made the first announcement, and the first announcement was basically introducing it, and so now we have information about the Steam OS, but what's rumored is that the next few announcements are going to start talking about hardware, and the last announcement is rumored to talk about a Steam box, so you'll be able to put a Steam box in your living room with the Steam OS in it, and it will network to all your computers. So if you've got a game already installed on a computer, say in your room, you just log into Steam and go out in your living room, and it'll connect up to it, and you'll be able to play the game off your TV.
I'm really tired of hearing the words rumored Steam box in that order. Because
Yeah, I know.
if
They
it's
need to
been
just
around,
confirm it.
yeah, if it's
Let's
been
do
around
it.
this long, we know they're making their own little system. This is
Yeah.
not a rumor anymore. It's been no. Stop saying the word rumored in front of it because it's stupid.
Yeah.
Like it's coming out. 3 announcements. The first one is an operating system. Gee whiz! What could we think
Yeah.
of next?
That's the core of what they're doing. You know what I mean? And obviously, the next 2 announcements have to deal with hardware. What else could it be?
We also need to know. Here's my question: if I build a computer, a tower, specifically for SteamOS, obviously I'm going to go all graphics, a lot of RAM, a lot of processing power. That's what
No. You won't need that on the Steam OS
No,
box.
I know, on the box. I'm talking about if I don't want a box, I want to build my own, right? What
Right.
happens when I want to hook a controller to it? Are they going to provide chipsets and controllers that you can buy? I mean, obviously I can always use the Xbox controller or something like that, but what if I don't want an Xbox? What if I don't have an Xbox controller, and what if I want to buy one? What if I want a more generic controller that I can
Ooh.
tailor
Okay,
to
I can
other
tell you
games?
this. right now, Big Picture, which is part of Steam, you can access it on your own Steam. You just
Yes.
click the Big Picture.
I've used it.
From what I understand, the SteamOS, obviously this is like this was just a test thing, I think. But the Big Picture has controller settings, and it's compatible
Yes.
with all kinds of controllers.
I can
Yeah, but
plug in any controller and use it. That's great.
But
Yeah.
Microsoft
the
has
games,
to
you
give them the graphics, not the graphics drivers, but the drivers for the controller, and it'll be now a competing OS.
Yes.
Would Microsoft play ball? Is the question.
Well,
Yeah,
they're signing deals with the devil. I mean, one of the things I found out about, a little off topic, iOS 7, is that Siri now defaults to searching through Bing. It's like this thing. They do not want to...
What?
Yeah, you didn't know this?
Oh my
So,
gosh.
you can search through Google if you tell Siri. I can show you right now. My phone's charging over there. If you tell Siri, search Google for, it will search Google. But if you say search for without telling it specifics, it will search Bing. And if you scroll all the way down on Siri, it says Bing in the corner. And
Oh my gosh.
it's this thing. Like, I think Apple's trying to get away from Google because of Android and stuff. So,
Oh yeah, I would
Yeah.
assume that's they feel they are their biggest competitor right now.
well, instead of making their own search engine to compete with Bing and Google, they're just like, which one do we want to throw our money at? And they signed a deal with Bing. I mean,
Well, Bing's looking to be anywhere because that's the only way anyone will use Bing.
Bing is pathetic. I hate that.
The one time I did a Bing search, like I've sworn it off. I got a virus on my computer, and like I literally searched for a .com website.
The virus is
And
just
I
a
clicked
Trojan
the
that.
first link, literally thinking this will be okay because the first link will be the .com site. Yeah, I was wrong.
It's just like
Never again will I Bing.
a Trojan that has pop-ups on your computer that just thank you so much for using Bing, and little things are dancing on the screen, and they're like, thank you! Like,
Oh my God! Somebody used Bing.
they want to.
I just hate the annoying. I just hate all the annoying pop-ups. Trying to get you to put a Bing toolbar on your browser. I'm tired of that.
It's sticking its fat ass in everything. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate Bing.
Bing bong, bing bong. Here comes your search. Sorry.
That's not any
They
slogan
should
of
come out with
anything.
their own search engine and call it Bling.
Bling. Yeah, it's just Google disguised with a different.
Yeah.
You call it.
Bling.
You call it Bling, and you spell it in the same color order. Like Google's letters have that famous red and what. Like all the letters have that color scheme.
Yeah.
Bling, but you spell it like that.
Oh yeah. That would be cool.
I can't explain it too well, but yeah. So SteamOS, everyone's really excited. Notch actually tweeted how excited he was for it because I guess you know more about this than I do, Dreadlow. I guess they did something with Windows 8 that no one liked.
Well, with Windows 8, first of all they took out the Windows Media Center, which is something that a lot of people were. I mean, anybody who had Windows used it for, say, Netflix and stuff like that.
All 5 people complained.
When they've actually used it as a media center for their computers. I mean, for their TVs and stuff, they would use the Windows Media Center because that was what it was for. But yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of people that has PC that never used it. But one of the things that the SteamOS is, it's not just for gaming. They're going to also have media, so you're going to be able to watch, Twitch TV, YouTube. You can link to TV. You could. It's got music. You can use put music on it. So it's going to be like the Xbox One and the PS4. It's going to be your complete media center. But a lot of people that got Windows 8. And then another thing, that was one of the things. But the other thing was that Steam had somehow announced that they were kind of they didn't use the term sick and tired, but I'm sure that's what they meant. They were just kind of tired of Windows and Microsoft and Windows 8. How they feel as though Windows 8 have made it very hard for developers. You got to get certified or certificated or whatever to be an official.
You have to jump through hoops. You have to jump through a lot of hoops if you want to
a
develop
lot
a
of
game.
hoops you got to jump through, and
to be
so,
certified, you have to sell yourself in the Windows 8 store.
Yeah, and so this, yeah, exactly. With the Windows 8 app store, you have to, also in order to be able to use that, there's other things you have to jump through, so other hoops you got to jump through. So they're kind of tired of it, and this is their answer to it. They feel as though this will bring down the cost of PC games because of the fact that they won't have to rely on Windows, to put this stuff out. So, and they feel as though Valve feels as though that's the reason why there's a high price in video games now because of Windows 8. So.
Well, I mean, that's got to be a contributing factor. I wouldn't say that's the only cause. I think every year we're going to see $70 to $80 games, I guarantee it, when the new systems drop, because they always go up about $10, like traditionally. So I don't want to see them go that high. $60 is pretty steep for a new game. And then Steam comes out, and sometimes the games are $50 for a brand new title because all you're doing is downloading it. You're not buying boxes or CDs that cost them money to manufacture, so they save there, and they strike all these awesome deals with the manufacturers and the developers. They can provide them for cheaper already. So already we should be seeing cheaper PC games. And now I think what you meant to say, I don't know if this is, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but maybe you meant to say it's going to lower the cost of console games because now it's more accessible as a console. Now PC gamers don't feel like PC gamers. Now they kind of feel like console gamers. So a console gamer who's skeptical about PS4 and Xbox One might
get all the perks of PC gaming, though.
Well, they might see, okay, PC gaming has a lot of perks, and now there's a solid format, solid community. I can hook this thing up in my living room. I can build a system that's a fraction of the cost of a PS4, of an Xbox One, and bam, there you go. Now they can provide console. Well, I don't want to say console quality. Technically, everything's better on the PC, but to these console gamers, they don't believe that. I still, personally, I have my own opinions about why I feel like consoles are better in some ways, but I'll get to that in a minute. Point is, I think this could lower the cost of console games or make it more competitive because now you're going to see console gamers considering PCs because they're not technically PCs. It's still a console. In the sense that you're not going to be using it to get on Skype and talk to your grandma,
I bet you could still do that,
though. You could do that on the Xbox and the PlayStation now, but you get my point. Like, PCs do everything, and consoles do
I'm pretty sure if you want to use Skype on the Xbox, you're going to have to pay for Xbox Gold.
Yes. And PlayStation
I'm
is
just
like...
going to go out on a limb there.
PlayStation's still free.
And
this
is also another thing. If they do come out with a Steam box, you're not going to be paying some monthly fee. It's going to be free because you're playing the games that you purchased off of Steam.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to, the OS is free, everything's free. I think it's a good transition because SteamOS is Linux-based. And we know that a lot of game developers are trying to port over to Linux, not with just existing games, but also new games that they make. They make sure that they make a Linux version, and we see this a lot on Steam. You'll see there's several versions of a game, and Linux is becoming much more popular than it has in the past. So for those, like I said, who have PC games already installed on their computers, can stream it from the SteamOS box that they have in their living room or computer, and then those new games that you buy, you can now start to buy the Linux ones because now the Linux versions, because the fact that the OS is a Linux base, so you'll be able to play those games off of the SteamOS. So, and then it'll be an easy transition away from Windows and now into Linux, and that's what I've been waiting for years because I like Windows 7. Yeah. That's probably the best one I've ever experienced. But I can't go to Windows 8, and if Windows is going in this direction, I don't want.
I'm jumping ship.
I'll go to Linux. I'll go to Linux. I'll suffer.
I kind of feel the same way about Windows 8. But the real question is this going to be a real competitor OS to Windows, or even just Mac OS?
Well, it's specifically though. It's not a
for gaming. It
OS.
is.
For gaming, it's a gaming OS. You can't really use it for, your everyday computing, like Microsoft Word and things like that. This is specifically for media, so it's a media OS basically. So there's no apps in there that are going to help you, with a business or something. So everybody's going to stick with Windows for that.
I'm sure but I mean on the consumer base, like just the individual, like could it get the power that like Windows has at home, or a Mac OS for the art yuppie students at home? Because I would really like to see that, because it would be nice to see a competitive market, because then maybe Windows would roll back on all the stupid shit they did.
Well, I've been hoping that would be the case with Linux itself, because right, and there's so many different versions of Linux, but I was hoping that Linux would become a big competitor with Windows. Obviously, for one thing, it's free. It's a free operating system you put on your computer. The problem is there's not a whole lot. It's hard with compatibility issues. You got to learn a little of Unix, the Unix console commands in order to get things to work sometimes. Mm-hmm. And until they fix all that, and until a lot of developers start making a lot of Linux versions of stuff, I have to stick with Windows for right now. But SteamOS might be that open door, especially for gaming.
That might be what brings it all together.
Yep.
Yeah, and
this might be the first real Linux OS that can get some traction.
And like you mentioned before, backwards compatibility. I have 100 Steam games or something ridiculous. I don't think it's that many. Steam says it is. I don't think it is. I probably have about maybe 40 or 50 Steam games. Okay, I don't have to worry about all those games going to waste because I get the new thing, the new system. Because the new system is just my computer. I upgrade my computer. I have, better graphics. I have a computer that can handle the new games. And I have my old games right here, and I can just play them whenever I want. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Doesn't matter. I have the option. And that's what consoles have taken away from us in the past few generations.
Now I'm wondering. I've never seen this in Steam before. Maybe you guys can help me. I wonder, if you purchase a game off of Steam, do you have access to all three versions, Mac, PC, and Linux, or did you purchase just the PC version? And if you decide to go to a Linux-based system, do you have to repurchase the game in the Linux version?
I don't think so. I think.
Well, Vice City, I know in my install list on Steam, it has both the Mac version and the Windows version. So I think you do have access to every version that you have is available. But the question is, was it at the time of your purchase, or will they just kind of grandfather you in, now they released a Linux version and you're on SteamOS, so
see, now if they start doing that, if they allow you to have access to the Linux version, it will be an easy transition from Windows to the SteamOS. It's going to be awesome.
I'll tell you what, they have to do it that way, otherwise no one's going to want it.
No. Right.
Because they're not going to. It's again, you got to
rebuy
your games.
PC, a bunch of PC games and then a bunch of Linux games.
You're talking about a system that's been on PC primarily for the most part. Most people use it on PC, and only recently have they been accommodating to Linux. Now, they've done a great job being accommodating to Linux, but if all of a sudden they say, well, PC users, which is pretty much most of their customers, you got to rebuy the games. I mean, they're not on that operating system. People's brains will explode. They'll be like, no. It's nope.
Yeah,
I'll stick with my PC. Yeah. Screw you guys. I'm going home. That's what's going to happen. So if they want it to be successful, they need to do that, and they have their money. I can't play both versions at the same time, so why the hell should I pay you for two versions?
Well, maybe you could if you had a Windows machine and then SteamOS.
I think I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna.
No, because I think Steam logs you out if you log in from another location. So you couldn't.
Exactly. So they got their money from me, and Steam isn't known for being that greedy. I mean,
no, they're pretty consumer friendly, at least appearance-wise. They are.
Yeah. No, all companies are out to make money, and that's fine. They're one of the better ones, and they haven't gone
There's nothing
to the dark
wrong
side.
with making money. There is something wrong with stepping on the people you're stealing the money from. And just blatantly
EA cough.
not offering customer support, or just at least making a quality product that people are proud to own.
Yeah.
Like, you bought it, ha 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 ha, we're making billions.
Yeah. So, no, there it is, though. SteamOS. I'm excited. I think this is going to make my decision really easy, because I was thinking, do I get a PS4 in the future? Like, Xbox One isn't even on the list, but I am considering the PS4 for games that are exclusive to it, and I'm looking forward to. And, I'm undecided, and this might kind of help my decision, because now I have something that's even more television friendly. I have this TV. I don't use this television anymore. I haven't used it in ages because I've been doing everything on my PC, including watch Netflix and stuff. The reason I stopped watching Netflix on my Xbox and my PlayStation is because every time I turn my PlayStation on, it has to update every time, because it updates like once a week, and then I let the updates build up, and it takes hours. If I turn on the Xbox, it's so old and so dusty inside that it makes all this flippin' noise. It's so loud, and I'm trying to fall asleep with Netflix on. It's like zzz. It's like someone's vacuuming my room endlessly, and so
That's not healthy.
I don't turn them on anymore, because it's just not. No, like, why? And I'm still probably paying for my gold membership, but.
I know, I am too, and every time I think about that, I'm like, I need to cancel that.
You know what they did? That I swear I did not cancel my gold membership. They raised the price by $10 a few years back, and they told people, if you do not cancel, I remember they were very, very specific about this. If you do not cancel your gold membership, you will be grandfathered, and you will still pay $50 a year. However, if you do cancel at any time and you come back, you will pay the $60 a year. And I never canceled, and I'm paying $60 a year.
Oh yeah, same here. I was mad about that too.
The hell? Like, and no one said a word. No one said a word.
Oh, I'm sure people have said a word, but they just don't care.
Ugh. No one that I listened to said a word. But yeah, that was like, it took me a while to get over that. And
well, they kind of hid that you would be grandfathered too. It was pretty mostly, we're raising the price of Xbox Live. Is pretty much all you could really find.
I found a very specific article about it, about what they were going to add. They were supposed to add all this ESPN and sports content that was supposed to draw in a bigger crowd, because you could watch your favorite sports games. Well, if you think about it, if you don't have a television
a lot of people
subscription,
actually do watch sports, and that would attract a large audience.
If it's cheaper to pay $60 a year for everything, and you get an awesome sports package, then people will do that, as opposed to getting Dish Network and then on top of that a sports package. So that was a cool idea. I don't know if they even put it in or not, because I don't watch sports, so whatever. But I'm thinking, why don't you give me the option? If the ESPN thing is all you're doing this for, give me the option. Like, I'm not going to use it, ever. I will never turn on ESPN.
Make Xbox Gold and then Xbox Platinum.
Yeah. Bam. And let the idiots pay for Platinum. No, but it's nice to have an option. It's nice to have options. And, again, that's just another example of why Steam could come out on top. But I think exclusive games are always going to sell consoles at this point. That's where we're at. The Kingdom Hearts 3, that's gonna do it for me, I think. PS4. It's going to be really hard, unless I find someone else with a PS4 willing to let me sit in their house for 10 days and play through all of Kingdom Hearts. I'm going to end up buying this system.
I know. I just, I think about that, and I'm like, I don't want a console just for one game.
Well, you end up buying more.
Oh, I'm sure I will. But, that's really the only one I can think of where I'm like, yeah, I need that. That's not going to come to PC.
All the games I have on my Xbox, I feel like I could part with over all the games I have for my PlayStation. I have Little Big Planet 2, and even though I don't play it, I can't part with it, because it's such a good game, and I know that if I desire to play it and I can't, I'm going to go nuts. So I still have it. And I still have Grand Theft Auto 4 on it. I still have all these games that I just can't part with my Xbox. If someone said, I will give you X amount of dollars for your 360 and all your games, I wouldn't have that much trouble deciding if I wanted to do that. My only problem with that is people give me games as gifts sometimes, and I have a really, really hard time selling it or trading a game that was a gift. You guys like that?
Oh, I don't. If it's not what I wanted,
No. It'll be what I want, but I've already beaten it. But still, it was a gift, so I can't get rid. I have all these games that I'll never play again, but they were a gift.
You know what? I get that too. like, oh, but they gave it to me and I did like it. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
See, what I like about this is another thing I like about Steam is I can go to a store like Walmart or whatever and buy a video game, and off the shelf, open it up, and there's a key, and I can enter that key into the Steam library, and it'll be a part of my Steam library.
Well, if you give,
and you can't do that with a console. I guess you'd have to, but I mean. You can't. I mean, it is the same kind of idea, but you have to buy like Xbox exclusive, you know. Whereas with a PC, you can buy any PC game, and you can use Steam with it. So
yeah,
that's another thing to consider.
The gifting thing on Steam makes it a lot easier because you can't trade your Steam games. That's the one downside to the digital future that people are upset about.
Yeah, I can't be like, hey, I don't really like this game. But I like to your friend, but I was like, I see you have something I really want to play. Let's say BioShock, and apparently you don't really like BioShock. Let's just trade.
Yeah.
Like, you now own the license to whatever it is that I hate, and then like now I have BioShock.
If they ever implement something like that, then people will be pretty happy. But I feel like GameStops are the comic book stores of the future, and they'll all eventually go away.
Then I'll really feel weird walking in the GameStop then.
That's what I've always felt like. I feel like video games are this generation's comic books, and they're one of those things where they're an ever-changing market, and you don't see comic book stores anymore. But there used to be stores dedicated to comic books. In the city, maybe, yeah, but I'm talking about just everywhere. It just used to be a thing, and now they're very rare. They're very they're tiny. They're really low cost. So yeah, video games eventually we're gonna be all digital. It's inevitable. We already see it happening now. CDs are fading away, and downloads. That's the way it's going. Downloads and streaming. That's the way it's turning into, whether we like it or not. So
I would like to see some laws go into place with licensing where if you buy it, you can at least trade or sell back the license to where you bought it from.
Yeah.
For like store credit.
They
or
might
at least
do that.
trade it to somebody else through the store.
I bet you if GameStop wanted to stay afloat, I'll use them as an example. They're the ones that are kind of beating all the stores right now. If GameStop wanted to stay afloat, they would have to open a digital store exactly like that, where you purchase a specific license to a game, you download the game, you play it, and as soon as you want to trade it, you have to expire your own license, self-destruct it on your hard drive, and you get store credit when you do that. And that's how like a place like GameStop will stay alive. But otherwise, they're going to be the next Blockbuster.
They do have a digital store or platform where you download things you bought digitally, PC-wise.
I mean, that's good. That's a good start. But I feel like trading games, it's going to go away.
It reminds me of Origin. and with
fun.
more ads everywhere on that GameStop like downloader app. It was
if you're going to have a store that's powered by ads, wouldn't you be able to make your products cheaper?
Well, actually, this product was $10 cheaper than even the developer's website. Like, order it straight from them.
Okay.
So, like, it was cheaper. But there was, like, ads for, like, everything everywhere. And I'm like, I just want to click download and get my CD key.
I know, it's crazy.
So, I mean, the future is going to be crazy. For video games, it's going to be nuts, and we're seeing it now. And I'm excited about it, but I'm also worried for companies like that. We've talked about that before. Why don't we launch into a new segment we're doing on the show? We're going to try this. We found a game we want to talk about, and we're going to talk about it in a new segment. This name might change, but I'm going to call it the Noob Spotlight for now, or the Everything Noob Spotlight. I didn't discuss the name of this segment to everyone. I thought, here's a new segment we'll do, but I don't know the name of it. That's how new it is. We're doing this right now, and we were all looking for a game that it's not out yet, but we're very excited to play this game. It's called Mount Your Friends.
I believe it's out on Xbox Indie Games.
It might,
but
yes.
Not for...
It's coming to PC soon, though. It was greenlit on Steam, and I think, again, I haven't turned on my Xbox in forever, but I think it's out already for Xbox. It's going to be linked in the show notes. This is the funniest and strangest game I have ever seen. in my life. Where should we begin? I think
There's
Jemmy's.
a goat.
There's a
and
goat.
Your guy in like a sumo thong that with a lot of dangle.
There's
And you kind of
all the characters are male.
climb on top of each other and try to make like a giant tower of almost
People.
naked dudes.
Let's describe it this way. Anyone out there heard of the game called Clop, where you're a horse and you have to control each limb of the horse?
Yeah.
And there's another one where you're a person, I think. Oh, Happy Wheels. It reminds me a little bit of Happy Wheels too. A little bit.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
little bit.
So basically,
It's very Flash game-esque.
you control all the limbs of this muscular
Dapper
puppet-
gentleman.
puppet
in the
man.
safe for work version, you're a dapper gentleman with a zipper.
Right.
So
yeah, exactly.
his wang
Same
is
problem.
dangling around, and you're using the buttons to climb on top of all these objects and try to get to the top of all these other people who have. I guess it works like you climb on top of a goat, and then you're another character, and you climb on top of your previous character. I think that's. I haven't played it. I don't know.
It's multiplayer, so I think basically maybe you would swap back and forth.
Even
And
better.
you have to like build it to where when it's your turn, you have to get him above the line with the next guy, and then like you can't build it out widthwise because there is like a red zone that's a no-go.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I'm really I'm excited to play it. I'm definitely excited to play it when it comes out on Steam.
The art is absolutely like just I love it. It's so cute and like funny.
It looks like a friendly kids game, and then you see that dick just dangling. he's
Dangling thing.
he's trying to
No,
climb.
No, it's covered. It is a sumo pouch.
It's
like,
very
Yeah.
It's
but
a
it's-
loose pouch.
a very
it's
loose
very
pouch.
loose and it dangles and it moves back and forth.
it's like
It
it's
is
painted
waggly.
on.
It's like a tail.
It's like
that's
there is
very
no
happy.
assumption. There is no assumption there. It's
It's like it's painted on, really.
yeah.
And it's the physics of
Yeah.
the they're pretty good. I'll say.
Swinging back and forth.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's no, you got to check this game out though. It's going to be linked in our show notes, and if you have an Xbox and you can download it now, and you just can't wait, go do that. Let us know what you think of it. But I'm waiting for it on Steam, and they did get
Yep.
greenlit. The voting is over, so it's coming out. It's coming very soon.
Mount your
Soon we can
friends.
mount our friends. And
I don't want to
and-
mount you guys.
and we won't go to
so-
jail.
No.
Oh.
I know, right? I can mount all my friends, and there'll be no consequences.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
My dreams can finally come true.
So there it is, our Everything Noob Spotlight tonight. Mount your friends. Check it out in the show notes. And now we need to talk about something that I think we tried to talk about this last week, and we had a happy diversion from it, a much needed diversion.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think we can safely come back to it. Last week we talked about Grand Theft Auto 5. And
Yeah.
it's been, I guess you guys were saying it's already been voted the game of the year by people that are saying it's going to be the game of the year, and it didn't even come out yet, and people are saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard it's lived up to the hype. I haven't
it
played it.
has.
I'm waiting for the PC version. I've watched very little of it on Twitch and YouTube. But from what I've seen of it, it looks amazing.
Yeah. In fact, it is very picturesque. It's a very pretty game, and it does live up to its hype. So it was well worth the purchase price of a new game, and
Well-
it didn't disappoint for Grand Theft Auto. And then they got rid of the dating.
Oh,
Good.
yes.
Well, they must have heard our podcast when we talked about it a while back.
Is this what everyone thinks?
So- oh shoot, we were take it off. No dating in Grand Theft Auto 5. One of the things that I disliked about Grand Theft Auto, the Grand Theft Auto series. What happened? Somebody.
In the chat, it said, "I'm going into the ocean to challenge a shark and prove my manliness. GTA makes my dreams come true."
So one of the things that I was disappointed in the Grand Theft Auto series. I know you're probably saying disappointed. How could you be disappointed? Well, one of the things I got disappointed in is when I started doing missions, I got to a point where I just got bored, and I started spawning in tanks and blowing police up, and it just got to be just a big old game where I just did whatever I felt like, free for all, which is fun. I like doing that. It's enjoyable. But that was one of the things that kind of disappointed me with the past series of Grand Theft Autos. This one, however, by watching some gameplay and stuff, I've noticed that first of all, you got 3 characters that you actually get to play, and sometimes they meet up, and sometimes they don't. And when you play the first character, you play it so long, and the game will automatically switch you to the next character, and then it'll automatically switch you to the third character, and then eventually you'll be able to choose. You won't have to. You start out with being introduced to all the different characters, and the missions are really cool, simple. Some of them are racing, some of them are, and you can find them on the map. You just click on the map, set your thing, and you go to your mission, and you play a few missions with that character, and it's really fun. There's a lot of diversity in this game. It's just so many things. I don't think I could ever get bored. I get bored easy, but this one will be able to hold my attention a lot longer without having to just go free for all like I've been in the past. So, if you get sick of a mission on one guy, you can just switch over to the next guy and say, okay, I'm tired of that guy for a while. I'll go to this one.
I think it's safe to say they did listen to their feedback this time around.
Yeah.
Because
they definitely went back to the glory days.
I was worried about another San Andreas when I heard the size of the map, how big it was. And San Andreas really tried hard to go all out, and it didn't impress me. A lot of people loved it. I did not like San Andreas at all. It was too big.
Yeah, it
took so long
about San Andreas
to drive.
I liked.
Yeah, I liked the car customization.
For the most part, I was like, well, I think I'll just go play Vice City again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always went back to Vice City.
Yep.
That's always my favorite.
I enjoyed the car customization, but to drive so long just to get anywhere. When I had a mission on another island, I just turn off the game. I'm like, I can't make that drive right now. That's like 20 minutes to get across the stupid map, listening to the worst soundtrack I've ever heard in a video game. You're going to spend all this money on licensing for music. You pick the worst songs of the era.
Yeah.
Put them in this game that has the most driving I've ever played in a Grand Theft Auto game. No, it just wasn't fun for me. And
supposedly
I didn't like the characters.
The driving in this has been like, people have been saying it's real tight, it's easy, it's not that hard to drive. I know in the past ones I've always had a difficult time driving, so I'd literally, I was better with a motorcycle. I'd grab a motorcycle.
Really? You are in the minority. Most people like fly off.
Of course, I use a keyboard too, so a lot of people use a controller. But from what I understand, this is a lot. They've really and there's each of the characters has special abilities, and the black guy has special ability where he's able to slow time down so he can make those turns when he's doing things. It's really cool. There's stuff like that. They make it a lot easier to drive.
I'm not sure I like that there's superpowers.
No, not superpowers. It's more like he's really good at driving.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this you want to play with this character because
he's a getaway driver.
Because he's really good at driving. That's his skill. It's not like a superpower. It's like you slow down time for the gamer to enhance that particular skill.
To be able to go around that curve without crashing.
Yeah.
And then it goes
see
away, and then you keep driving.
Through the eyes of the character, because he's that focused when he drives, so you can slow down time and like and then, because that's how he sees it. I don't see it as a superpower at all.
I'm glad they improved driving, though, because Grand Theft Auto 4...
Oh, God. It's like driving on ice.
Just awful.
All the time. Like, you're always on ice.
I could never make a turn. I would just, I would be like, okay, my turn's coming up on my GPS. All right. Slow down. And then you make that turn, and then you're spinning.
And you hit a building, and you kill 10 people.
Or you just overshoot it, and then you're driving through a fence, and people are screaming at you, and I'm like, I can't turn. It doesn't turn.
I watched Conan did a Clueless Gamer on it, and people on Twitter were going nuts. So I finally watched it, and the first thing he did was jump in a car, and it had an Audi logo. It actually had a legit logo. Did they finally get a deal with car companies? Because they always make the cars look really similar to cars you see on the road today, but they get around, actually calling them a Ford.
I don't like that, because the parody cars always made me laugh.
I think it's cool. I think,
I mean, it's nice that they did that, but I did enjoy the parody.
I worry that you're limited now. Maybe they only struck a deal with 6 car companies, so you're not going to see very, there's going to be certain ones you're missing out on. Like that was my biggest
variety in
problem.
cars.
Yeah, sometimes there just wasn't enough variety in cars.
Oh, there's a lot of variety in this. You can get all kinds of cars.
Well, they could have struck a deal for advertisements with a couple of companies, so their cars are dropped in there, and then they have their own parody cars to kind of fill out the ranks.
You can get a Jesse Pinkman mobile home.
Can you actually get a Breaking Bad mobile home?
Yeah.
Like does it say any? Does it reference the show?
No. I'm just saying it's just one of the. You can get a mobile home. You can get
and you can cook meth in it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can I cook blue meth?
See,
you can get a tow truck, whatever. There's there's a large variety of different cars.
In Grand Theft Auto, when you grabbed a car like that, like a garbage truck or something, you could go on missions with the garbage truck, and they would get progressively harder, and you would earn more money. And I love doing those sometimes just to blow off some steam. Like if I was pissed off at the storyline mission, I'd be like, I'd grab a garbage truck and start taking out trash or doing whatever mission it made me do. And it was never enough. But Saints Row 2... This is where I started to feel like Saints Row was going to be better than Grand Theft Auto, and then they released 3.
Yeah, it was starting to get good.
Yeah, you could get in a septic truck, and instead of doing septic pump-outs, you would spew sewage on people who pissed you off. It was the coolest mini-game I've ever played in a game like that. I just played so many of those damn missions. Because it would spew the sewage and kill people. Like it wouldn't just dump sewage on them. It would dump sewage on them with this high pressure sewage hose, and people would go flying covered in crap. It was amazing. I loved it.
There's a lot of little mini games like that in this too.
Wouldn't it be cool if they did that? Like you can get a mobile home and you can go out into the desert because there's a lot of desert and you can cook meth. In the mobile home, and then you could sell the meth. That's perfect for Grand Theft Auto, and it'd be an excellent Breaking Bad reference. Breaking Bad fans would lose their minds.
Oh, they would love it.
Let me just go kick meth and then sell it.
Yeah, they
ultimate marketing strategy. Let's go. Let's find it.
Push triangle to break bad. Okay.
See, that brings me to that would be an awesome video game, Breaking Bad video game.
And then you get a cell phone call from your doctor. Sorry, you have lung cancer. You're going to die.
Don't worry, no Breaking Bad spoilers, listeners. Don't worry, but yeah, that would be so cool.
Spoilers, oh yeah.
Because they're never going to make a Breaking Bad game. I mean, if they did, I don't think it would be very good. Because Grand Theft Auto is the perfect format for something like that.
The chat says you can go to the desert and transport meth, but she doesn't know about transportation.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm actually excited then. That's pretty cool because I'm going to do it in an RV and pretend. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I want the game, and what I wanted to ask the internet, is there any release date for this damn game for PC out there? Like, there's rumor after rumor. Oh, 2014. Oh, next month. Oh, this or that. When is this game going to be on PC?
I know. Please.
Like,
make my day.
Yeah.
Hoping a few months.
There's no reason to not tell us when it's going. If it's going to be by the middle of next year, I need to know that because I'm going to buy it on PS3 if it's going to be that long of a wait.
Well, I know, is it Fable 3? Fable 3, when it first came out, was console only, and they said they were not going to release it on PC.
Well, they've confirmed they're going to do it for PC.
Well, in the beginning, they were squawking that no, there won't be a PC version, and then just 4 or 5 months down the road, all of a sudden, it's got a PC version.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking maybe 5 months from now, maybe. Once the hype goes down, once they sell enough copies.
Maybe.
They probably already sold enough copies because that game is breaking records with sales.
Here's why I want it on PC mostly. Not just because of my problem with consoles right now. And I would get it on PS3 because the Xbox doesn't have a Blu-ray player, so you have to get 2 discs. You have to install 1 disc and play with another, and I think that's dumb. And I would just get it on PS3. But the other problem I have is that I can't stream off of my PlayStation. I like streaming games like that, especially that, because it's a big sandbox game, and a lot of people like watching it. I don't have a capture card, so I have to buy that game and a capture card, and then by the time I get all that, it's going to be out on PC. And then I'll be like, that was stupid. I spent all this money for a capture card I'm going to use once.
Well, with SteamOS, they'll probably have a
for it.
SteamOS will probably have a Twitch app.
Well, I know. I'm talking about for in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
You know, so there's no reason not to tell us. If it's never going to come out, I want to know. And if it does come out,
They
always do. But people are like, well, it hasn't been technically confirmed. Like, come on.
Well, somebody pulled the source code or something, and it's already started. It's there.
It's already there. They've already got the code in there for the PC version.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time.
We need to know. We need a date. There's no harm in giving us a date. That's my biggest problem right now.
Well, again, like I said, they're looking at they're looking at sales, and seeing what happens. I think that's what they're doing. I don't think that.
They don't need to see what happens.
Have a date. I know.
We know what happened. We understand completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know it's going to come out. I just want to know when, especially because all the new consoles are going to release, and they're going to re-release it on all those new consoles.
Oh, that's true.
And then it's going to look 10 times better. I'd rather just have the PC version, and then I can get to choose how good it looks.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard not to have it right now. I mean, I could always trade it in, maybe. I buy it on PS3, it comes out in a couple months, and then it's still worth a pretty penny because it's so new. There's always that.
Yeah.
Right.
But, again, so that's my challenge right now.
Then you have to start all over on the missions, because now it's a new save file.
Well, that's why I work on actually beating it and, enjoying the story, and then I'm okay with doing it again, maybe a different way. If there's 3 different characters, there's probably different ways of beating it. We don't know that. I mean, I don't want to know that. Don't spoil it for me. But maybe alternate endings are pretty big in some games, and this is the perfect game for it if you have 3 different characters. So, but I bet you the last mission probably involves all 3 of those characters, and it doesn't end any other way. Who knows? But with 3 different characters and all the potential for side missions and stuff, I think it would be worth playing again.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing. You get to choose. Okay, so wait a minute. You've got access to all 3 characters, and you know that this one mission's a racing game. So you're thinking, I'm going to use this guy because I know he's good with this. See, you get to choose eventually. I mean, obviously, the first time you get introduced to each of the characters, you don't have a choice yet until you've unlocked them, so to speak. Once you unlock them and you got all 3 characters, now when you do a mission, you get to choose what person you want to use that mission on. I'm guessing. I don't know.
I say
maybe it's missions specifically for those characters. I don't know.
Chat's saying that there's choices in many individual missions too. So kind of like during the mission you have to make a choice, and that's going to probably affect the story.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I think Fable was one of the games that kind of pioneered that. I don't know if that's true or not, but where your choices kind of alter the
Fable
story.
Fable was one of the first really popular games.
Yeah, if you married the mayor of the city or whatever, it completely changed the game for you. Cause,
I loved that. I thought that was amazing.
It did something to the whole storyline.
I missed Fable. I wish Fable 3 wasn't such a flop.
I know. Yeah. That was so disappointing. Fable is always a disappointing game because they never deliver what they promise, but it's always a good game. But, Fable 3 was one of those ones where it was just I don't know if I can do this all over again. 2
was the worst out of all
2?
3.
Really? That was my favorite.
Really? I liked it, but once I played 3, I liked 3 a lot better. There were certain things about 2 I liked more than 3, but I think overall I thought 3 was better. Just in the sense of a well-done game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the first one, nothing beat the excitement of playing the first one. And they're actually coming out with another version of it. An HD version, I think. And I read about it a while ago. I meant to talk about it last week, I think, but we never got to it. Yeah, there's going to be an HD, a remake of Fable 1. And they're going to include all the expansion they came out with back then in that remake. Wow. So that was the one thing about Fable 1 was the graphics were really good, but they had this weird thing where it was really easy to like turn the camera and then everything looked like just messed up polygons. You guys remember that? Like the hair especially. Hair was like really glitchy.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously that's going to be fixed, and I think I'd play that again. It was a fun game. There just wasn't enough. There was hardly any missions, and they promised all these side quests and all these things, and you get to the map with all the missions. It was like you can go on the main story, or there's this one side quest you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
And this amazing arena battle. That was like my favorite part of the game. One time you got to do it.
All these choices that make huge
differences.
And
The arena battle was awesome.
The arena was so good. I was ready to run right back in when I beat it, and it wouldn't let me in.
No,
and I sat there just sat there like this. Like, what? Can I please play it again? You know, do I have to play the whole game again to what?
I know. It was terrible.
And then the second one, they're like, well, we made the arena replayable. Like, oh, about time. And then it wasn't nearly as good as the first one. It was good, but it wasn't as satisfying at all. I was sad.
Yeah, I'll agree. The arena wasn't as good.
Yeah. But yeah, Fable, they're coming out with a new one, aren't they?
Probably. I can imagine they're going to do a Fable 4. It sells well enough that they would.
It's going to be called Fable. The Fable Next. No, I was kidding.
Oh no, they already did like a Fable 4, and it was for the Kinect, and no
one played it.
Cared.
Oh wow.
What was that about? Was that even a full game, or was it just like a fun little? It was a full game.
It was a full Fable, and as far as I know, no one bought it.
No, I don't see, and that's the thing. Now, if I play Fable 4 or what I would consider the 4th installment, I'm gonna feel like I'm missing a part of the story because I didn't play the Kinect one. But I don't want to connect
enough that you need to play the previous ones to jump in.
I know, but still, it's nice to play them consecutively. And they did reference the old ones sometimes. So it makes me feel like I missed something, but I'm not going to buy a Kinect. I thought the Kinect was just a total flop. I don't know why it was as popular as it was. I thought PlayStation Move did a much better job. Because
I don't even think the Kinect was popular. It's just Xbox kept like pushing it in our faces like, no, you have to have it.
Yeah, they really forced it on the consumers.
Well, they got a contract with the NSA, and so they want to be able to...
Oh my God.
If I hear the word, Infowars.com.
If they want to watch me play games in my underwear, go right ahead.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it's your funeral.
I don't know about you, but I'm free balling when I'm gaming. I'll put that secret right out there.
And now people are hacking into your Kinect as we speak.
They'll have an actual website dedicated to, Kinect cams.
Yeah, Kinect cams.
Watch now. It's funny.
Oh, gross.
You have to be 18 or older to be on the website.
Yeah, that's creepy as shit, too, because kids play video games.
I know.
I know.
Oh, man, that's not good.
That's creepy. So, no, I don't think that's ever going to be a thing. But, Kinect is so lame. And to make a game that's part of this huge franchise and throw it on there exclusively.
And it's coming back for the next console.
Ooh, no. I'm not playing Fable on Kinect.
There has not been a single Kinect game where I'm like, yeah, I want that.
I think they spent a lot of money on the technology for that, and so because of that, they need to make up for that. So that's why they really push it on the consumer.
PlayStation Move, man, they messed up by not advertising it well enough because I played that in the store, and they combined the controller with the camera, and the movement was so fluid and very responsive. I played a tennis game. And it was perfect. But it was a little troubling. You had to stand in such a way that it sometimes would lose you, but nowhere near as bad as the Kinect. Because right next to this thing was the Kinect on the other side. So I go around and I'll try the Kinect. And I tried their game, and I would slash my hand, and it would slash
Fruit
its hand.
Ninja?
Like it would. Fruit Ninja. Like you go wah, and then it would like read your response and then do it. So it was like a full motion behind every time.
Oh, you have to think ahead.
Yeah. And I think they improved that a little bit in the future, like, installments of it, but the Move did a really good job, and just like the Wii is very responsive because it uses a controller. So the Move combined that with a camera to interact with your entire body. Perfect combination. Yeah. No one bought it. Maybe it was too expensive. I don't quite remember. I didn't buy it, even though I'm talking it up.
Most people kind of skipped over the PlayStation 3 too.
That's
so
weird,
you have an even smaller market that cares less.
I feel
because
like
most people didn't care about the movement games. Most people just want to play like the regular sit on the that console controller game.
Could you imagine Call of Duty on Kinect?
Oh my!
I feel like PlayStation 3 got really popular.
I think a lot less people would like Call of Duty if there was like Kinect capabilities.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
And you would have more 12-year-olds playing it.
More kids playing it, and people would like it a lot less, maybe.
I'm in a small room, you know, and if I get an Xbox with a Kinect, I don't have room to do that movement stuff.
Yeah.
So
you're knocking over lamps.
Yeah.
So I feel like PlayStation 3 got really, really popular really recently, like in the last year or so with Uncharted. That was a huge one.
No, I can agree to that because a lot of my friends have like turned in their Xboxes and swapped over to the PlayStation 3, and they're like, "No, I'm only interested in the PS4 and the next generation."
Yeah. So I think they're going to do really well this time around.
Microsoft burned too many bridges.
Yeah, people know. I think now people understand how greedy Microsoft is capable of being, and even though they backpedaled, they're kind of like, well. You know, you kind of. I was so into not buying your system that even though you backpedaled, I'm still not into buying your system because I'm just kind of got my mind made up. I think a lot of people are. I hope a lot of people are like that because, come on.
Well, there's still the fanboys.
Of course, but for people who are on the fence, it's really no contest, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
You're gonna miss out on Halo. Big deal. Come on. Bungie's releasing a whole new universe for you to play in soon.
Yep.
Destiny.
I'm trying to think of what like other Microsoft exclusives that most people would care about. And besides like Kinect Animals, can't think of anything.
Call of Duty's on both, right? So that's not a Microsoft exclusive.
No.
No,
so
it's on
PC.
On
the PS4.
Yeah. There's a lot of things. I think Fable used to be a Microsoft exclusive, and they went to PC.
Well, yeah, they usually release it on PC, so...
It was Fable 2, I believe, that was the exclusive one, because you can't get it on Steam.
Yeah.
But I have it, and it's Microsoft games for Windows, or Windows Live, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And
those are always the best.
Somewhere, where is it?
They're not the best.
I got it up there somewhere. But you can't get it on Steam.
Nope.
So.
No, not at all. So
that's what I hate about Microsoft. You sign a contract with them, you're stuck.
You've signed your life away. Well, we got to wrap up though. But we had a really fun time. And we hope
this was good.
We really hope you go check out everythingnoob.com and check out the show notes for everything relevant that we talked about, especially mount your friends. Don't miss out on mounting all your friends. It's completely legal,
not at all.
Totally creepy, and amazing. So definitely go check that out. Call your lawyer first before buying Mount Your Friends. No.
Just call Saul.
Oh my God! Shut up. God. Make sure you also give us your feedback about the show. Anything you want to tell us? Maybe you've played Mount Your Friends. You want to tell people what you think. You can go to everythingnoob.com, click Contact Us. You can send us a text. You can leave us a voicemail, 210-570-NOOB, N-O-O-B, 6662. Or you can just write your name and leave some feedback. Just type it up, old-fashioned way. We're all over the place. All right. Everyone, thank you for listening. Jemmy, Dreadlow, thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
Take care.
See you next
week.
I'm
next Smug.
Thanks for listening to the Everything Noob podcast. Be sure to visit everythingnoob.com for previous episodes, show notes, host bios, and blogs. And while you're there, feel free to write us with any questions, comments, or suggestions you may have. Don't forget to check out the links to our Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch TV channel as well. On behalf of the Noobs, see you next week, and happy gaming.